You feel it? Are we streaming? I think we are. What? Hey, it's happening. Do a quick audio check real quick. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Check. I think you can hear me. Yeah. We're up. Yeah, baby. What the deal is, chat? Welcome. Welcome, goddammit. The world famous Live with Leo. We're here. We made it, baby. It's been a while. It's been a while, my friends. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's been such a while. I wonder who will pop in. Had a little bit of a live this morning and thought it's been a while since I've been on YouTube, and I haven't talked to one of my favorite audiences in a while. Matter of fact, the last run that we had at YouTube was a lot of fun. I mean, we got some involvement, we had some cool conversations, and I miss it. I miss it. And where have I been? I've been busy working, and this is important. I've been busy slacking off. Took some time off. It's true. All right. I did my bare minimum work. Okay. Bare minimum. Barely showed up. And, but now I'm back. I'm back at work. It's good to be back working with Steel Mace Flow. And I looked at our subscriber base and we're getting ready to hit 7,000 followers. It's a big deal for us. I'm excited. Steel Mace Flow has been an absolute blessing. And I haven't checked in on you guys in a bit. And I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but I did want to check in, say hi, and share this amazing experience I had the weekend before last. I met this guy named Taylor Morgan. He goes by the Captain. He wears a pirate hat. He's got a beard. Call him the Captain, okay? Captain Morgan, but not that Captain. I met Captain Morgan. I like to say that. I met Captain at a retreat. Well, what the fuck is a retreat? Retreats can be a bunch of different things. However, I think it's best described as a gathering of people who are like minded in questing. It's a gathering of people who have the same goals. Maybe everybody's not at the same level, but regardless, there's a want and a thirst for self improvement. I've been privileged to attend many gatherings of self improvement because of the place I position myself. Being a creator of Steel Mace Flow and the way that we teach Steel Mace Flow has gotten me invited to a bunch of different events. And I've got to share my work, and that's where I met the Captain. There was a Strong Coach Summit here in Austin, Texas, and that's where I'm from. Well, I guess that's where I live. It's not where I'm from, but it's another story. And so I performed. Taylor was front row. Taylor later put on a men's retreat and invited me to come down as a performer. And it was great. It was a great event. Okay. First thing, I didn't want to go. There it is. I didn't want to go. Okay. All right. So listen, I wanted to be there. I wanted to participate, but I didn't want to go. I know that sounds a little weird, but it's how it is. Okay. So I wanted to be home with my partner, who I love very dearly. My partner Ashley, as we live together. I share almost every waking moment with my partner. We do a lot together. We game together, we eat together, we smoke together, and we support each other very well. I didn't want to leave Ashley. I wanted her. I didn't want to leave her. I didn't want to leave home. Has anybody else ever been there, where you love your home so much you don't want to leave, but you still want to go to events, go merry make, and go to self improve? It's a little bit of a foreign feeling to me. I've always been excited to leave my place and go check out other stuff. Anybody else? And oftentimes there's a dread on coming home. Sometimes I don't want to come home. I'm in this cool place, all these cool people, making all these memories. Why would you ever want the good time to end? Well, it's hit me. Uh, to have a home is it's a natural thing to not want to leave your loving environment, your castle. Or maybe more to the point, you don't want to leave the people there. And so I didn't want to go because I wanted to be with my partner. But I wanted to go because I needed it. I've been running the circles in mental health and waking up, woking up, however you want to describe it, nerding out about life, I think is the best way to say it. I've been nerding out about life and self improvement for a long time. And when I go to a talk, it can be difficult for me to sit, for one. It can be very difficult for me to sit if I know very well what you're talking about. And so normally when I go to an event, I need like a level 2 or a level 3 education. I need like that top tier, what's at the top of the mountain. That's the information I want. Not to say basics are bad. Not to say that I don't need basics. Just listen to the whole story and we'll get into the basics. But I also didn't want to go because I didn't want to go over a bunch of stuff that I already knew. You know? I just didn't want to go back in. The healing process can be tricky. And one of the trickiest things about the healing process is sharing your story. Oftentimes, when I'm asked to tell people about Steel Mace Flow, get this, I relive some of my traumas. At least I can say, for a long period of time, whenever I would talk about Steel Mace Flow, I talk about how it heals me and what it healed me from. Thus, taking a step back from the reality I'm living in now and seeking a reality from the past that I wasn't comfortable with and bringing it back to life. And I'm going to say this in a very real way. And by no means do I mean to make anybody feel any type of way, but it is the most real way I can say this. If you've ever known anybody with a big disease, cancer, they are not their disease. That person does not want to be known as the cancer person. They want to be known for who they are. They don't want to be known for their trauma. Sometimes they're tired of talking about the cancer journey. Maybe not. So it's very inspiring to hear the story. It's very inspiring to be part of the story and tell your story to inspire people. But it can also be painful, reliving old traumas. So another reason I didn't want to go is I didn't want to relive some past traumas. And I had another reason I didn't want to go. They were going to fuck me up with some painful things that make me better. Now, there's this old thought. There's this old way of thinking. Well, it's not an old way of thinking. It's a current way of thinking. I've heard this phrase so many times. Well, aren't you glad that bad thing happened to you? Because look at where you are now. Aren't you glad you went through that breakup? Aren't you glad you got fired? Aren't you glad you had that horrible thing happen to you? Because look at where you are now. And to that I reply, fuck no. Fuck that. I believe in fate, I believe in destiny, and I believe in myself and my hard work. I'm going to get to where I'm going without the trauma. So I am not happy that you had that breakup because you were going to get here anyway, motherfucker. Look at my eyebrows. I'm serious. I believe in it. I believe you can get to your point of success with as the least amount of negativity possible. And I mean negativity even in paying for self-enlightenment. In our men's retreat, we were going to do some painful shit. We'll start low level. One of the days we were going to do a 24-hour fast. That's 24 hours of not eating. And in those 24 hours of fasting, we were going to be very active. When I was young, I grew up homeless. I lived in a car. One of my first memories was, man, I was still in diapers. I wasn't 1 years old yet. But I have a memory. It's not my oldest memory. It's my second memory. I remember my mom taking me and my brother, putting us in a car, which she stole from my dad. And she took me and my brother away from my dad. And I didn't understand what was going on. I just knew I was having a good time with my brother and my mom. And we didn't eat. I was hungry. I was super hungry. Some people would say I was starving. My mom begged outside of a gas station and got a loaf of bread, some cheese, and some aluminum foil. This is back in 82, 81. Definitely 81. I can't believe I can remember that this far. I can believe, because I'm amazing. I remember my mom talking to a trucker and him showing my mom how to cook a grilled cheese sandwich. Toasted bread, melted cheese together. On top of her engine block, she popped her hood, put aluminum foil on the motor, put the sandwich stuff on top, and we had ourselves a charbroiled grilled cheese sandwich. Grilled clar block sandwich. And so I know what it's like to be poor and not eat. I used to store food in my cheeks because I didn't know when the last meal we were going to get, when the next meal we were going to get was. I remember living in our homeless shelter and knowing and hearing, eat all your food, because we don't know when you're going to eat next. And so I'd eat as much food as I could, and I would put what I couldn't, I would put it in my cheeks like a chipmunk. It wouldn't last long. But I remember looking forward to picking the morsels out of my teeth so I could swallow something when my stomach was singing. And so I don't want to fast. Fuck that. I was poor. I didn't eat. I don't want to relive that trauma. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. There's a bunch of powerful stuff. You fast, boom, it's good. You do the good stuff. But I didn't want to do it. Another thing we're going to do at this men's retreat is ice baths. We're going to take some ice baths. Have you ever taken an ice bath? It's difficult. Let me preface this by saying practicing healthy cold plunging is a positive thing. Notice I said healthy. Heat exposure and cold exposure can be very, very positive for you if done in a healthy way. Notice I keep saying healthy way. I hung out with a group of men, and we were all trying to cure ourselves by doing the most uncomfortable things possible. We were taking frog venom. We were eating super hot chilies, standing on spikes, laying on beds and nails. We were doing stupid cold times of ice baths and the coldest water we could. And we were exhibitionists of pains. Not only were we exhibitionists of pains, we were competing with each other to see who could endure the most. And one day, while snorting tobacco called rape, you actually don't snort it, they blow it into your nose. It feels like being maced. I took some rape. And what you do is it burns and you just sit with it. And it's horrible and it hurts. And you just sit with it. And it's supposed to help out your stress response. And then we took some sangasana, which the best way I can describe it is Tabasco eye drops, cayenne pepper and water eye drops. So you can't breathe, the nose is hardened, and then you drop these death drops in your eyes. I didn't know if we were training for protests, but it felt like it. And I said, I can't wait for this stuff to stop hurting because I'll feel so much better when this stops hurting. And it hit me. I said, why are we fucking hurting ourselves to make us feel better? I don't feel like any of this is working because we keep turning up the volume. The temperature keeps getting hotter. The ice gets colder. The pain threshold gets pushed further and further. And I said, fuck this. And I took the ego out of, I took myself, which is my ego, out of that environment. I stopped doing the painful things for enlightenment. I stopped. You ever get a tattoo? Let you sit there, they fucking drill you. It hurts. You're in pain. And then they get done and you say, oh man, I feel so good. Do you really feel good? Or did you just cause yourself a bunch of torture? And now you're without the torture. So why am I causing the torture? Maybe I could just feel good without it. Come to find out, you can feel good without it. So I didn't want to go because it went against my moral compass. The way I want to treat myself with love and care, with kindness. The way I want to treat other people, the same. So I didn't want to go. Did I mention we were going to be camping outside in bad weather? I didn't want to go. You mean cold baths, ice baths, and then you want me to sleep in the cold outside? Nah, bro. But something inside me was pushing me to go, calling me to go. And I went. It was a great experience. I did the things I didn't want to do. I pushed some areas of discomfort. And let me tell you what happened. Day one, we wake up, boom, early. Fucking literally 6 a.m. up by 6:07. I'm in a fucking freezing ice bath. Freezing. No warm up, no breathing. Wake up, put your swim shorts on, get in the fucking ice bath. It was, and I'm kind of a big shot, so I can just like not do it. You know, I'm Leo Savage. I'm just here as the speaker. I'm not participating, and it would have been welcome, but I jumped in. I got to suffer with another dude, which I always think's fun when you and someone else are both going through some shit together. And I had fun. I gotta admit, I had fun. I was making sounds. I was shivering. I was enjoying having my ass kicked. Now I'm filming this event. And so I'll speed up the story. The second day, we were to do the same thing. However, um, I wasn't able to film much on the first day on account of me being froze. So the second day, I woke up early. Not on purpose, just my circadian rhythm lined up. And after 7 hours of amazing sleep, thanks to the biohacking we were doing throughout the weekend, I got up early, 5 a.m. I went and hit the fucking ice bath, stone cold by myself. Boom. There was also an opportunity to do some heat as well. So I did ice, hot, ice, hot, ice, hot. And I was super proud of myself that I went out there, I pushed my limits, I jumped in the ice without the men, just did it by myself, which I just was super proud of myself. And there were some difficulties. Apparently, you're supposed to unplug the Kenmore cooler before you get into it. I didn't know that. I mean, I think I knew that, but I didn't do it. My feet got burned. Long story short. The next day, we're supposed to do the ice bath as well. However, I woke up in my tent, which had a hole in it. Was leaking, I guess. That's the best way to say, rather than had a hole in it. And my hair was soaking wet. I woke up at 3, maybe 3:10. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, why am I sweating so much? But it turns out I was soaking wet. And I got up and I did not participate with the group in taking an ice bath on the third day. And I don't regret it. You see, I found a place of safety. I found my edge. I found out how far I was willing to go some time ago and decided not to push past that. I decided to recognize where my ego is here and now and honor it as if it was my friend and not my enemy. After all, your ego is just your self-image or the way you see yourself. And so why not be friends with your ego? So the ice bath was cool, even though I didn't want to go for the ice bath. I thought it would be cool. I mean, I didn't think it'd be cool. It was awesome. And I don't know if I'll be taking ice baths, but I do enjoy a cold shower in the morning now. And so something I didn't want to be part of ended up being awesome. Next, I didn't want to go because I've learned so much. I don't need to go over basics. I hope you guys see where this is coming, where this is going. There were some amazing coaches in the house. Dave Robinson and my homie Chase gave this Enlifted level 1 coursework, which I'd been through. But I never seen it like this. I never seen it taught by two dudes live, or two coaches live. You should have seen the way that they worked together. They Chase and Dave traded off who was leading, who was talking in seamless fashion, not once talking over each other, but always backing up each other and saying the same word tracks, which gave it this whole new feeling. Imagine your favorite teacher from high school, middle school, and imagine your second favorite teacher from high school, middle school, elementary school. And now take your favorite subject. And could you imagine what it would be like for your two favorite teachers to teach the same subject? It sure would be a beautiful thing. And I recorded it, I got some good video. And nothing happened. I listened to everything, nothing happened. I didn't have any epiphanies, I didn't have any moments. It's kind of what happened, you know. Second day, the team teaches again. And I record some content, but I'm not really paying a lot of mind because why? My ego is so in charge right now that I know that nothing is going to be said is going to affect me. And then, like early gunshots on the 3rd of July, Dave Robinson says, what would happen if you keep going? I've heard that before. I've heard what would happen if you keep going and lived out that fantasy before. However, I'm in a different place now. And so the basics should affect me differently. It's like the old proverb, if you read a book when you're 10 and it greatly affects you, when you read it when you're 20, you're twice the person, it will affect you double. Because you have grown so much, you will see twice as much in your life, and you will see twice as much in the book, or in the proverb, or in whatever. And it hit me. What if I keep going? And honestly, shit's about to get real. Shit's about to get real. Honestly, it fucked me up a little bit. Fucked me up a lot. Really made me question. Made me play out different realities. I was named after my dad. And this is a great thing I like to ask people, especially if I'm coaching them for mental health or physical change. Who were you named after? Because who you were named after is a direction that you should go in, that you're almost imposed to go in. Except there's a caveat. You have to do better than the person who you were named after, but you will always be compared to them. I was named after my dad. And realizing if I keep going, if I keep doing this, I will be doing this for the rest of my life. I will always be Leo. Part of my adulthood and childhood, I ran away from being named after somebody. I wanted to be my own person. I wanted to be identified for my flaws, not my parents, or in this case, my dad's. Can you relate? Who are you named after? And so, a little further, the idea of what if I keep going was a bit of a nightmare. It is a really weird thing to have created a dream, a reality, to make something come true. Still Mace Flow. I'm the guy who created Still Mace Flow. How great would it be to be Leo Savage and live out that life? It's very scary. It's intimidating to know what you will be doing for the rest of your life. And so when the question came up, what would happen if you keep going? It struck fear in me. I love adventures. I love new. I love creation. And to think I will be myself for the rest of my life. I will always be this person. I will always be this in this body. I will always be teaching Still Mace Flow. Even though it is what I wanted, what I created, it terrified me. Some level 1 stuff shook me up. Shook me up, man. Woo! And then we did some other coaching, and it was important. Rather than the lesson, I just really needed to be asked the question. Needed to put myself in a place where I could receive, where my ego could learn. And we learned a great lesson over the weekend. We learned, to sum it up, I'll quote my friend Brooke Meadows. Boom. The guy's cooler than his name. Brooke Meadows, I mean, he's cooler than his name. Brooke Meadows has this thing he does and says and lives by. It's the king says yes. And by saying yes and by showing up, I had a life-changing experience. Wait, didn't we just discuss my life is going to be the same? So it wasn't life-changing. It was more life-cementing. I am extremely thankful to have created my purpose. I didn't find it. I didn't pull it up off a shelf. I created it with these American made hands. These hands. This heart. We created Still May Flow. So I guess I'll be doing this for a while. And I'm happy with that. It is one thing to find or to create your purpose. But if you truly step into that, your purpose will change into your legacy. It will be the thing that people talk about when you're gone. It'll be the way people move when I'm no longer here. Your legacy, the story people tell about you, is how you will change lives way beyond your years. And so if you have a purpose, turn that motherfucker into your legacy. Double down, triple down, go however much down you want to go. Go all the way. Show up for yourself, show up for your community. And with that said, guys, that is it. It is so good to be back on YouTube. I don't know what kind of content you guys want, but if there's something special you're looking for, let me know. I love to make content, but I would like to do some more speaking engagements. So next time you see me on the live, pop on in. Thank you so much for listening to the lessons I've learned. I hope they help you as they've helped me. I should do some promo stuff, but I'm not. So, until next time.